Welcome to the Buy Box Bandits podcast.
Welcome back to the Buy Box Bandits podcast. 2021 was a year of a lot of things. Major world events, U.S. presidency changed, lots of stuff going on in the news and everything, but one event stood out more than them all.
Amazon, baby.
The creation of the Buy Box Bandits podcast, which if you're listening to this, you were a part of. So thank you for being a part of it. You might be watching this on YouTube, looking at me with the yellow wall, listening on Spotify, Apple, the other podcast platforms. Thank you for you guys all being a part of this. This is episode 26 or 27. 27, yeah. If you're on YouTube, most of you who watch the podcast haven't yet subscribed, so please consider doing that. But today, we got the whole gang here, just us, no guest. We're going to go through the year in review for 2021, which we all came into 2021. Neither of us knew Garrett. Danny and I knew each other a little bit, but didn't talk super often, or we hadn't for a little while after doing a lot in 2019. But yeah, so we kind of just want to walk through that, give kind of an inside look into how our year went, something maybe we can look back on in the future, because it's definitely the best year for me yet business wise. And so super excited about all that. I know it was for you guys as well. So yeah, any thoughts before we just roll in? I think we'll just go month by month.
Real quick, want to extend my apologies. I know everyone missed me so much in the previous episode, considering how well it did. I know I definitely was missed very much.
In the pinned comment, whoever wrote the pinned comment, definitely wasn't me. They said they missed you.
Yeah, thank you. I had tested positive.
I don't know if anyone actually missed you, Danny, but we'll pretend.
I tested positive for the World Health event, but it's gone. I left it. It left my body, so it's fine. I'm good. But yeah, year review should be a great episode here. A lot to talk about. A lot happened. I mean, where should we? I feel like we start around like March.
Yeah, so February. I've told the story before, but the story all begins. It's gonna be somewhere around February 20th. Just gotten ungated. I was like, all right, I'm gonna start doing Amazon again. I hadn't liked the Facebook ads agency stuff.
Ungated in what?
Yeah, all the big brands like Nike, Adidas. Those were the Under Armour, the first 3 I did. Later Crocs, but
you remember who you got
apparel
from?
Who did you ask?
Yeah, people on Twitter. We were just talking about
specifically Nike. Who did you DM and reach out to get ungated in Nike?
Yeah, this dude named Logan. He's on Twitter.
I thought.
And I can't remember if he told me or if I asked him, but somehow we got on Zoom talking about it. Huh?
Oh, you're serious? I thought it was Garrett.
No, it wasn't Garrett. No, I had started already. This is probably February 9th that I did the ungate.
When Miles and I connected, he was early in on the game, but he had already known.
Yeah, I was a week or 2 in, and Gary V was like, "You better respond to every comment." I was like, "All right, Gary V, I'll message everyone that comments." For some reason, Garrett, for the first time all the year he had been following me, he commented that day. All out Amazon. I'm nearly positive it was anonymous. They didn't even have a logo they had the logo profile picture. It wasn't them. They were posting pictures of pallets, free leads, all that. And I just, for whatever reason, from on Twitter stuff, I was just getting on with people, chopping it up the way we've done with tons of people this year. So I was like, hey, let's get after it. And for some reason, Garrett opened up the book of tricks and
we got on Zoom that night.
Or it was either that night or the next night, and you're like, all right, we won't tell anyone. Getting on Zoom the next night, or one of those next nights. Hey, can my friend Danny from high school join? I guess kept showing the trick book, and then there probably hasn't been a day we haven't FaceTimed at least once since then.
Okay, so for some context, right? So yes. I opened the toolbox. I was giving Miles some of this information, asking him to not tell anyone. And what
I didn't. Danny had texted me that week, or it was like,
no, I don't think he really told me anything.
I just said get on Zoom with these dudes tonight, something like that. But yeah, I hadn't said anything yet.
Yeah, no. Oh wait, I have an interesting, kind of off topic, but it goes hand in hand. Where did everyone's socials start at the beginning of the year? in terms of a following, and where are you at now? So I'll start. My Instagram, I think, went from like 400 to 600 because I don't post. But my Twitter at FBA Astronaut went from 0 to, I think I'm close to 1,700 now.
In 6 weeks or so. Yeah. 6 weeks.
So that's
Amazon wasn't in existence, and now I think we're at,
Really, it wasn't. You didn't even have the page.
now I think we're at a little under 8,000.
Yep. I had around like 6,000 on Instagram, and I wasn't doing Twitter. Probably had like 3,000 or so. Little around 17,000 on Twitter right now. Just under 200 or 20,000 on Instagram, and then like some on the other platforms.
Yeah, Garrett, what's your Instagram at? You cut out.
A little under 8,000. I was right above 8,000, but then we lost some. Now we're right under 8,000.
Nice.
Have you been posting daily the last month?
No, I've been lacking the past month.
But
making the most money I've ever had this month. So I mean this year. So we'll take it.
That's true. Yeah.
It's a trade-off.
Your children can't eat followers, but they can eat for money. Famous quote by Floyd Mayweather: "Your family can't eat legacy." Fact.
Okay. So March, we had the group chat, which was the Rocket Boys. It's still the name of it. I think it was just the rocket emoji. And for all the real ones who know the Buy Box Bandit logo, behind the 3 beautiful animated faces, there is a rocket shooting out money as the exhaust.
Which was done from someone random on Fiverr.
Yeah, and so none of us are really making, like, I'm probably making like a few $1,000 a month profit at this point. You'll see, like, we're all doing a lot better than that now. You'll see kind of what went on throughout this episode that got us to like multiple 5 figures a month in profit each. And hopefully you can continue that and everything. But just after the whole episode, you'll see kind of the bell curve that went up of good things that happened that really contributed. But it all comes back to the group chat getting together in the mastermind, us 3, Jake, your brother a little bit. And we were just getting on Zoom, learning stuff, man, putting each other onto things. Some shoes we go in on, like we were all selling like dozens of this one pair of shoes a day in March and April. We were in a battle with these people ordering all ours and canceling trying to stay in stock on. It was a battle. It literally, I don't know why that still doesn't happen, but it was happening then. We were just battling with people on that. And so that's March, pretty business as usual. We were just all doing that throughout March and April. And then at the end of April, we got together for the first time and got the warehouse, right? That was the weekend we got the warehouse together. We had that epic.
That was the weekend y'all came down to Pennsylvania.
To AOA HQ.
Tyler is mixing up the possessives here. He's saying we got the warehouse in April and Garrett got it. And then now it says on our warehouse.
These guys are like obsessed with pronouns. It's bizarre.
No,
Miles struggles with pronouns. He does, but we forgive him.
Anyway. Yeah. So wait, was it April? First time we went down to Garrett's
29th. April 29th.
Oh, you have the date?
I mean, it's like something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we had some good basketball games.
Yeah, Danny won. I mean, I didn't play for that matter. Jake didn't play either. It was just you two. And Danny beat you, which you should be violently embarrassed about.
Super funny. Look who's should I answer this? It's Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Good. What episode was he? Probably like 15 or something. Very good episode with Taylor talking about quitting his job for retail arbitrage. But yeah, okay, so the warehouse gets gotten by Garrett late April.
Apologize for that. Danny's phone obviously went off again. Shocker.
It was
where were we?
Kid was ringing me off the hook.
So we're in April, right? So we got the warehouse well pumping. At this point, a lot of us are doing a lot of shoes. He's starting to get in wholesale a bit.
No, Danny took a month off there. Remember, he had college, so he took a whole month off, and we all thought he was gonna quit.
At this point, we're also doing, and this is obviously in December. We're doing Flowbees, which is a haircutting system.
Which was because it would come in stock like once a week. It would restock a week, and we were all on the email list. and whoever got the email first, it was like, I'm sure they have thousands of people on the email list, so it staggered the times it would go out. It would be in the morning. Whoever got it first would FaceTime the group chat, and normally we would all wake up like that. That woke me up back in the spring, typically like once or twice a week with Flobies restock.
I vividly remember one time I got the email first, and I FaceTimed these guys. And Miles was in a dead sleep. He answers his phone and he says, Floby.
I probably had to check out within like a minute and a half. Too.
And
we
they didn't accept Amex cards, so we had to pull out. Which is actually going to be a nightmare.
I was buying
using
stuff on debit cards.
Yeah,
I was using Apple Card. I was using Visa. I was using everything.
These are all things we have to remember when we go back and calculate our inventory costs. Like I use a debit card for a lot of Floby, so I have to now go back into my bank account and figure out what.
Yeah, that won't be too difficult though, because your statements from back then won't have a ton of transactions.
True.
Yeah, which is why it's easy for nuance. Like the first 6 months of the year, I can probably do that whole accounting in like a few. I mean, I already estimated did, but the exact stuff, that's like not going to be hard.
Yeah.
There were days where we would wake up and before 9:30, 10 o'clock, we would have all, like as a group, we'd probably have spent $20,000, $30,000 on these Flobies. Like It was nuts. We made a lot of money. So progressing through the year, Flobies obviously.
Yeah, their buy costs, they were 130 or 120, but the shipping was tax.
Well,
like $24 of shipping. So basically they were $149.95 or something like that. They would move 240 at the start, and then I think at the end we were moving them for like 210 or so, 225, something like that. And then I think they started IP complaining of this. So don't sell those if IP alert says they aren't good anymore. But they also raised the retail. I checked it the other day. They totally raised the retail price.
I wonder why they just didn't go direct
to Amazon.
I don't know why they didn't just go direct to Amazon. They could have FBA'd them.
So now we're moving into Q3, and this is something we didn't really talk about much, but we actually had one of our accounts shut down for a couple months in Q3.
Think about who it was. Those of you watching, who do you think it was? Okay, thanks, guys.
And so one of our accounts.
You had multiple Amazon accounts.
Have. Yeah, so that was something tough. Obviously not something ideal, but we hired a legal team, right? And so we ultimately resolved that after lots of sleepless nights and
it got resolved. It got resolved.
A lot of money spent. Yeah.
Did you get the money back?
We're not going to talk about it on here.
Oh, I mean, I don't know either.
Do you want to share with someone who's watching, if they maybe have multiple accounts, what you want to share about what you did or what you think you did to get your account suspended, or why?
So we were just not keeping up with some of the merchant fulfilled metrics that we should have been on one specific account. Some orders were going out late. Completely our fault, right? We were lacking.
So late shipment rate, or?
Yeah, it was more. Yeah, late shipment rate. It just, obviously Amazon has metrics that we all have to follow, right? In terms of customer experience, and if you don't uphold those, obviously there are consequences, right? So more reason for us to mitigate risk by diversifying income and doing all those sorts of things and creating a brand. And for us, making multiple accounts was a smart move for us. But it's all behind us. Obviously Q4 was massive.
And it was when you were really aggressively scaling on a kind of seasonal opportunity, and just really aggressive scaling, something I've seen have really burned people in other types of e-com, like drop shipping and stuff. Have to make sure people are getting their stuff on time, that everything's going well. Better to get, successfully fulfill 5 orders than screw up, 6 out of 10 or 4 out of 10 or whatever.
Yeah,
so we'll make sure you be on top of your account health. It's like performance, then account health. It's the first option. ODR, late shipment rate. What are some of the other stuff? It's like on-time delivery rate, which somehow for me is always high, even though. Yeah,
I don't
I
think
feel
on
like
time delivery really matters. That's
I
who
don't even merchant fulfill like that too much. So I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
The two most important are order defect rate, I think is actually the most important, and then it's late shipment rate. Because if your order's defective, if your product's defective, the whole order is pointless. And that's really
I remember the late shipment rate, it gets over 4% and it has the notice on your seller app. I remember I had like in the first few weeks when we were ripping the shoes back in the day.
yeah, well, just
And these days,
sometimes
late
if you're MFing really hard and then you stop all of a sudden, and like let's say towards the tail end of that, you had a couple late, as that like moves over, sometimes it'll just pop up late shipment rate. And then but Amazon's smart enough to know that makes no sense, or it makes sense, but it doesn't do anything. So you don't have to worry about stuff like that. But yeah, I think ODR, order defect rate, is the most important. If your ODR,
because that encompasses
Yeah.
chargebacks, A to Z claims, and negative feedback.
yeah. So to get what's
I mean,
the
because if you
how
think
do you
about
get-
like the
how do you
reason,
get ODR, Garrett? How do you get an ODR? Is it A to Z claim?
Like I just
Yes,
said, it's A to Z claim, chargeback, or negative feedback.
yeah, so it's
Chargeback
broken
is
up into the
fine.
3 buckets, like Miles was talking about, and it all really comes down to, and we all know that's Amazon is primarily focused on their brand, right? Upholding their brand standards for customers all across the world, right? And when that becomes jeopardized by people like us, that's when they obviously have to step in, right? And so as long as us as third-party sellers are upholding that brand, you really have nothing to worry about.
Yep, we are
Now we really,
essentially the face
what's
of
up?
the brand. I would say we're essentially almost the face of the brand when it comes to, because a lot of people don't even realize that they're buying something from a third party seller. So they think some people might think they're reaching out to Amazon when they're really reaching out to us. So Amazon expects us to act in an extremely professional manner, which we should. But I do also always think it's funny, like if people knew like where their orders were being packed.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like whether it's like in our bedrooms or dining rooms or in our garages, like how these things are getting done, or like who's doing it. It's funny to think about.
And
That's
sprinkled
one of
in,
the
I
biggest mysteries of
also,
Amazon, right? You talk to a lot of just casual people around the world, around like people we interact with, and you bring up these things like the buy box and just selling on Amazon, right? Most people, as we talked about,
They
when
know.
they buy from Amazon, they just assume it comes from.
People don't know what a buy box is. I say that they're like, what? I'm like, oh, I forgot. Not everyone, like hardly anyone knows what we do.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and so as we
why-
continue to progress, now we're getting into Q4, right?
This
Oh,
thing, well, I mean, we are rolling right now.
Wait.
Hold up. Lots of
Yeah.
seasonal stuff over the summer.
Hold on.
Chlorine. Danny walked
Oh.
through the Miami chlorine excursion. Loved it. I know we zoomed a little past,
Yeah.
but let's talk about that because this is some
So
good banter.
obviously, if you guys haven't heard this already, I also have a great thread on my Twitter at FBA Astronaut. Go check it out.
Getting muted
On
right
the
there.
chlorine thread.
And
But
that's different from FBA Danny, right?
FBA Danny, you might as well delete FBA Danny. It's
just follow my Twitter.
doesn't even post when the podcast episodes come out.
Anyway, yeah, so I got the chlorine idea from Jay Carter, who did, I mean, like astronomical numbers on that stuff.
Disgusting amount of chlorine, insanity.
Yeah. But yeah, so I identified, long story short, I identified where the chlorine was going to be. There was about like a 50-50 chance that it was actually going to be there. And I was like, all right, well, if it's there, I'll have a free vacation and then some profit. And if not, then like whatever. So,
And this was when you had taken that month off with finishing school. So none of us.
so school had just, I think I had just
week.
finished it.
Yeah.
I think I just finished the semester, and then this came up and I booked the flights down. But
I forgot. Danny just ghosted us for like a month and a half.
I didn't. That's not true. That's not true.
You
Like we would
absolutely
always try and Zoom, and Danny was like, "Oh, I'm studying. I'm doing schoolwork. This, that." I remember that.
I really hope Dennis clips that and sends that to my mother. She would, Mom, if you're
Yeah,
listening.
I thought she was a listener.
She
thought she
listens. I think she listens. I don't know. We'll see. Because if she does,
Comment down below.
yeah, Mom, comment if you're listening. Yeah, I was focusing on school somewhat, And but yeah, chlorine came up, went down. I netted, I think, around like 9 to 10 grand on that trip.
After the Tesla cost?
Yeah. Yeah, around 9 grand. Around 9 grand, 10 grand on that trip. That was really cool though. That was a really cool experience. I got to fly my friend from Jersey down, and kind of he was amazed at like
As a body. That's it. In the reselling terms,
like his it's hard for like people to understand how quickly this stuff moves. And I remember on the flight back, I was like, "Oh, the last bucket of chlorine sold," and he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, they all sold already," because I sold them all before I got back, because I noticed a lot of sellers were coming on the listing. So I was like, "All right, I'm getting in mind." And I'm taking
you gotta, boys and girls, take profits out there.
But don't do them if you're gonna destroy your account, though. I knew I could get them
when you have items. Yeah, when you have items.
Yeah, so I sold them all before they even got back to Jersey. And yeah, I remember when I told him that, he was like amazed that I sold that many. It was like a day and a half, and they all sold.
Wasn't the Costco manager like he asked something with your card?
Yeah, they were sick. So the last
he took your Costco card.
Yeah, so and then I walked out. So he was like, because they had called like all the managers in the local South Florida area, and he pulled it
with the beard and the curly hair.
Up my account. So the mistake I made was I got the business card. So me, my friend, and my girlfriend at the time, all of our Costco cards had the company name on it. And that kind of gave it away when we were in the store that we were all the same person, or all part of like the same team. But yeah, so anyway, the Costco's had called in the area and were like, they pretty much put out like a bolo on us, and we're like, be on the lookout for these people just keep going around and around with these chlorine things.
Were you looping it? Obviously, you were looping it.
Yeah, like I didn't care at all.
Were you changing clothes?
I'd put on a hat, or like honestly, I don't really think we changed clothes.
But there's like,
what is looping? What does looping mean?
Like keep checking out, because it was max to 3. So like I would go to a different checkout person. I'd be staring down in my phone, or like trying to hide behind someone in the checkout line. But anyway, so I'm in the last Costco, last checkout, and the guy like takes my card and pulls up my account on like this super old screen from like the super old like IBM computer. And all you see is this. So it's a black background and green text, and you see all my chlorine purchases from every Costco, and it's just quantity 3, quantity 3, quantity 3. And he's like, "This can't be right." And then I just walked out. He was like amazed how many there were on my account.
Did you rent a truck for that?
Yeah, we had 2 trucks. So me and my friend split up, and he went to one and I went to one.
Driving the box truck like the bulk book days.
Yeah, so it was it was a smaller box truck, and then we rented him like a Sprinter van kind of.
And so for perspective, you made about 10K. How much did you end up paying out your friend?
Damn, pocket counting right here, live on the podcast.
It was, I netted 10K. It was like I netted 9 to 10 after I paid him. I think it was like 1,000 or something. I think I gave him 15 or 20 per bucket, but I gave him like a bonus because he flew down literally the same day I called him.
Oh, so he's a real one. That's incredible.
Yeah, but no, he made like $1,000 in like a few days.
Is he a Buy Box Bandit subscriber?
No, I don't think so. Maybe
change that. Yeah, we gotta change that.
Maybe. Yeah, that was awesome. That was a fun experience.
And so now Q3, well, so the last month of September, right? And that's crazy. That stuff was only like 6 months ago. June, July, 5, 6 months ago. And I feel like stuff's so much different now, just from like a perspective of really seeing the scale of what can be done. I think early thus far. I
think we're all well, in a good way. All the numbers, everything, it's like it keeps growing, and we're not looking at this stuff from 6 months ago as the same, which is good because it seems smaller now. You're good.
Oh, I mean, our business is unrecognizable from when it was it was in January to now. Unrecognizable.
Yeah. Even I remember when I was shipping out the chlorine, I may have a picture of it. Maybe I'll send it to Dennis. He can put it up. But I had like them all in my driveway, and the UPS guy had asked me how much I made, and I told him the truth. I was like 10 grand, and he's like, oh, so like he's like, now you could just hang out for the whole summer, or like you can hang out till like the new year or something. And I was like, absolutely not. Like I'm going 10 times harder, so I can make 10 times, 20 times as much. Like that's the kind of mentality that you can't just have one good flip and stop it. You got to keep going because it compounds. Because you learn it once. Once you do it once, you can do anything.
And the problem is some people get into this, and not necessarily a problem. It's also obviously a great thing. People get into it on hot opportunities like this and have a lot of success quick. But the sustainable money comes from lower ROI stuff that you can sell over and over again. So the exponential curve of building that product catalog, you only have to find that item once. But if it's a honey hole, you can go back into and you can keep finding those opportunities. You can stack them up and you can build up that product catalog.
Yeah, I think
you made a good point. Is like all three of us, I think we could probably and honestly say we made by far the most money we've ever made, right? But heading into 2022,
yeah, I mean, I'm not even
obviously, yeah.
What's up?
Close. Yeah, I'm
like heading into 2022, that just makes me so much more hungry. It's so much more eager to keep building, keep compounding.
If we can look back at the end of 2022 and be like, wow, we did nothing in 2021. Like, I mean, that would be, I mean, we might have Team Hellcats at that point. We might get Miles in a big V8.
Lambos.
AOA Lambos, BBB Lambos. I mean, like the opportunities.
We have the merch on the way, so that.
Yeah. Oh, big announcement.
Such a pain the past couple of days for me, but it was worth it to save the 15%.
When we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving away some Buy Box Bandits t-shirts. They're very high quality. So look forward to that. We're going to give away a few of them to a lucky subscriber. Make sure you're subscribed and follow
multiple subscribers, but multiple subscribers.
All right, so what else? So Q3, so
we start the podcast. We post the first episode, I think was October 1st.
So we started brainstorming the podcast in the very beginning of September, I think, or at the tail end of October.
The podcast has been something we've talked about for a long time, but never really executed on.
We had the Buy Box Bandits name, because we had
I had it.
No, I came up with it. I
came up with it, but
I came up with it.
Literally remember. I remember we were selling on the same listings, and that I Buy Box Bandit it.
Guys, look,
I remember.
You guys came up with it, but I banded it the IP.
He owned the IP for a while.
Like Ray Kroc didn't invent McDonald's, but he owned it. So
it was probably April or May you bought the domain.
Yeah,
it was something that the podcast idea was something that we were talking about for a while. And I remember Danny and I were FaceTiming one afternoon, and we're like, dude, like, let's just do it, right? And Miles was on the fence for a while, and we had told Miles, we're like, bro, we're doing this whether you're in or not. So tell us whether you're in. Of course, Miles obviously was in.
Yeah. I think I honestly, I think I don't want to take credit. I think I definitely may have pushed it. I definitely pushed it a little bit because I really wanted to do it.
And we spent so much on the mics we had to, which none of us are using, ironically, but I'm on.
Yeah, none of us are using mics.
I mean, and to give Danny his due credit, and I don't think Danny has been instrumental in getting us to where we're at with all the technology and working the Simplecast and the YouTube and
Dennis,
the microphones.
Flip that, please, and post that everywhere.
HR for the prep.
Thank you. But no, that's my
Danny's official title is the chief HR officer, right? So that's Danny's role.
I reject.
He's also head of IT.
Head of IT's facts.
Yeah,
I would say CTO. CTO sounds, but I'm pretty sure that means chief technology officer, chief technical officer.
And Miles is the chief marketing officer.
Yeah,
and of course that leaves me as the CEO.
We could just all be.
That is facts, though. That is facts.
We could just all
handle it.
We could just be C-BBB each. Like we could just.
That actually is kind of hard.
We don't need to break things up here.
All right, boys. So now we're at Q4, right? Q4 has been record-breaking, I think, on all fronts. We all made.
Bro, I said it. I said life-changing money is on the line, and I mean, obviously there's stuff you can do better and everything, but I mean, I did better in Q4 than a couple years ago I ever thought I was
And
going
the
to.
crazy thing is, like, and we were talking about this before. Looking back on Q4, there's so much
So
room for
many
opportunity
improvements to
improvement,
make. Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Like, and Miles and I were talking. We didn't spend nearly enough as what we should have and wanted to, right?
Yeah,
And
a lot of going out of stock like December 15th on FBA items, supplementing that with some merch on everything, but definitely a lot of lessons learned. And some of these like competitors on listings were just in stock like crazy. So they were better prepared restock limit wise, obviously deeper pockets to go deeper on stuff and all that.
What do you guys think was the biggest like fact? All right, because like the opportunities honestly in every quarter are there. Q4 more than the rest of them, but going from Q3 to Q4, what do you guys think changed? Because
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I know the both of you spent more money. Was it like, do you think
yeah,
it,
I paid quarterly taxes and stopped buying mutual funds and reinvested everything, which snowballed and helped my cash flow so much and solved like the issue I'd been having all year because I was taking money out, that now I can go buy, do some like investing on the side and still be flowing. But that reinvesting for like 3 months, 3.5 months, like stopping in September, taking any money out, quarterly tax he did. But other than that, that reinvesting everything snowballed it so much when you're making 35% on your money quick, FBA, FBM moving stuff. That was huge.
and
And
when
that
he
was
says
great.
quick, it's not overnight. It's like 30 to 45 days, just so everyone knows.
yeah,
Your merch
and
can
so
fill and the stuff's getting delivered. I mean,
That's
I don't know
actually, that's
specifically.
actually kind of true.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I
for us, a
really
lot
don't
of
know the technicalities of how quick it goes, but I
yeah,
think it's like 7 days after your delivery date. And also, I'm sure if you scale up super quickly, I've heard from others that Amazon delays your payments. But if you're scaling, fairly cleanly, your payments are going to be normal. And because you're more profitable than ever, you're moving more stuff than ever. Well, maybe there's not direct correlation there, but
Your
your cash
first
flow-
I'm pretty sure your first month on your account, your payments are delayed, or first 2 months.
Oh yeah,
oh
absolutely.
yeah,
Which just sucks because it's so confusing for newer sellers.
Yeah, it really does, especially if people are scaling very quickly. But I mean,
But I get it. I mean, it's rare for coming into Amazon and you're scaling really quickly. You have experience reselling elsewhere,
yeah,
sneakers.
I'd like to see
like
some of those kids that came from the sneaker world.
incredible.
Actually
Absolutely. I
started
mean,
dropping
incredibly inspiring.
$1 million months. I'd like to see those accounts when they first came. That's crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, so just to answer that question, it was huge for me reinvesting everything for 3.5 months. It snowballed so nicely. Some big personal brand wins in the like leads list, Discord, all that, reinvested all that into product. Very good decision. Now I'm able to take some wins off the table, put that in a long-term portfolio, and then get back at it, get tracking Amazon the next few weeks.
Garrett, what about for you? Biggest difference going from Q3 to Q4 or Q4 over Q4 last year?
Yeah, so for us, part of it was increased volume and increased sale price on stuff that we had already been restocking and replenishing. That made a pretty decent difference. And then apart from that, and Miles can attest to this, we massively took advantage, and this is part of the regret that we have, right, is not fully taking advantage of the opportunities in which Amazon goes out of stock on certain products in Q4, specifically in the toy space.
Right.
And so if you're listening to this now, go back and re-listen to Toy Folio's episode. Those are some of the strategies that we implemented in terms of researching those keepers, looking at past Q4, 2 Q4s ago, and really trying to identify where Amazon goes out of stock and really stocking up on those particular items, sending them into FBA, pricing high, and waiting for Amazon to go out of stock. That made a huge difference for us.
Yeah, because the ROI on that stuff was huge too. I probably sold through like 85% of my stuff. And I mean, who cares if I liquidate and break even or just hold because I was buying on the end of the cycle. But like great money was made there, definitely.
What about you, Danny?
Just spending more. Like I had the products, I had the ability to buy them, but like, dude, seeing like the zeros on the Amex bills is, well, you have to be able to manage it, because just because you can buy it and sell it, that doesn't mean you're gonna be good. Like, you could be in a situation where you don't have potentially like 6 figures to pay back a bill for like 2 weeks, which could be detrimental for the long-term health of your account. So you really have to manage it. So but I had some capital saved up, so I leveraged that, and I just kind of went ham on a lot of the commercial electronics. And I found out a new term recently for kind of what industry I sell in, which I don't care if I say it. It's called like the prosumer market. It's where it's commercial electronics, but it's also prosumer electronics, where it's people like they like the technology, and it's like for professionals.
Marquez Brownlee types, the dudes who watch.
Exactly.
I mean, I watch some of his videos.
Yeah, exactly. I love Marquez Brownlee. Yeah.
But like, interesting enough for you, like your strategy, the essence of your business didn't necessarily change from Q3 to Q4. You just did more of it. Is that true?
Yeah, I just like got inspiration from people that were younger than me, aka Jay Carter, and saw how much he was spending, and I was like, I could do it. Like I saw I was able to. Like I did the little, how much can I spend on Amex? And I was like, all right, it's gonna let me spend 50K, and I was like, let me spend like 30, and then I just kind of kept leveling it up. And then here we are. But there were like some tight. I don't regret anything, but I mean there were some tight like 1 to 2 day windows. Or
for me on a smaller scale in November, definitely. But I mean, lessons learned. We made it out. Like, you know.
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, it's all. Hey, yeah.
It's wildly profitable if you pull it off too. Which.
Miles is then maybe potentially a couple more gray hairs than he had before, but we all made it out.
I'm good now. Yeah, I'm like bad now.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was just like spending more. Amazon's a volume game. I think any way you look at, like in every single aspect, it's a volume game. Sourcing, you need to source more. Scanning books, you need to scan more books. Selling, you need to sell more. Products, you need to buy more. Like it's in every single aspect, it's a volume game. Not just.
That's a good way to put it.
So yeah, I would keep that. I would write that down.
From Q3 to Q4.
What'd you say?
Your product catalog didn't necessarily change much from Q3 to Q4.
Not really. Actually, no. It expanded a little bit, and I'm expanding it more now.
Yeah, that's natural. Yeah.
Just because I focused in on a few products, a few ASINs that I knew were profitable. Because like I had to do like what's the opportunity cost of my money, which we could probably do a whole episode on. But I was like, okay, this is going to give me the most ROI in the quickest time. So I was like, let me do these few ASINs. And then once those started going and the money came back, I was like, okay, I could take advantage of these lower ROI ASINs, but they're selling great as well. So then I'm doing everything kind of at the same time. And then that's what changed in the Q4. I would start taking advantage of things that were a little bit lower margins, like under 20, 15, really under like 15%, still above like 10, but between 10 and 15.
But like the margin ROI game is so different that the ROI is so great. Like even 25% a month, which is like 10% net margin.
Yeah.
Like that.
And like, dude, that monthly that blows out every.
And that's the thing that like, there's people on Twitter who will make fun of you if your ROI is like 35%, and they're driving to. I mean, like there's entire like groups of people that like will tweet about how like other people's like they, I mean, you know,
are they living in your head rent free, Miles?
Some of them are in my replies. That's for sure. Dude. Some of them are in my replies.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I mean, dude, like 10% margins a month is still better than your favorite hedge fund anywhere in the world ever. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's on demand, right? You purchase something, it's expected, it's guaranteed almost. So fast forwarding, I mean, almost to the end of Q4, and this is something that I don't think we really publicly talked about yet, is the origination and the creation of Buy Box Bandit Prep. I don't think we've officially talked about it publicly yet.
It was only natural that we decided to expand out into the third-party logistics, Amazon Prep Center space, and we could not be. I mean, I know I'm like, I love this stuff, like logistics. I own a trucking company. Like I love this stuff. This is like the future, and I'm so excited for it.
And so to give some background, right? So we've been working with, and we've been putting a lot of human resource hours into working with our development team to build out this software that is hopefully going to change the game for us and down the line, potentially other prep centers if be starting getting into the licensing space. But for people who we haven't really necessarily reached out to yet, what it's going to look like is, as a client, you are going to have your own dashboard where you can see what products you're sending into us, what products are in our warehouse being prepped, and what products are on its way to Amazon. It'll give you an overview in terms of how many units you sent this month, so you can kind of game plan and estimate. We will be requesting payouts upon submission of inventory. So it's going to be a super fluent process in terms of requesting and submitting those invoices. And we have, obviously, we're building out our own warehouse team in-house that's getting more and more fluent with how we work and our systems in place. And
Yeah, what did we
it's looking
do
super
this
bright.
month? Like 10,000 units, somewhere around that, 11,000.
20, 23, 24, something
All
like
right, so
that.
that shows how closely I've been looking at it. But yeah, and we obviously, some of you may have seen this, you may have applied. Those of you, like we did application wise, we had around 200. So there's, a specific subset of, people that fit that first round of criteria that we're currently reaching out to. So if you haven't yet applied or you're interested, and you can send over 500 units a month, that is our minimum, at least right now. Feel free to shoot one of us a DM. But that initial round of people who did apply, those of you who we are looking to work with, are reaching out to you right now.
Yeah. So we'll have that link down below. And that the initially first round of applicants are going to be those who are able to send in consistent volume.
Yeah, because at least right now, like, this is never going to be too heavily advertised. I guess this is literally the first time we're posting about it on here, and this is like on brand exactly with it. It's more so something that we're looking to build long-term relationships with some sellers in the same way we've done it. Like, making friends, like group chat wise, everything. This would be like something that's not too heavily advertised, that we're just looking to build some long-term relationships with.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested, there will be a link below, but maybe too late already, but don't be afraid. Still submit in the application, submit yourself, and maybe we'll get back to you. But
yeah, but it's just something that we're intuitively being a lot more selective with, because we want to be able to provide the best service for a small, select amount of clients, right? That's our goal. That's our mission. That's what we're trying to accomplish. And it's something we're super, super excited about, especially heading into Q1 of 2022.
Yeah, we've been putting a lot of hours into this. We're paying a lot of money for a development team, or a team of developers, to develop a back end and a website for us, and a whole bunch of stuff, some potential licensing for other prep centers. A lot of cool stuff going on, and we're working really hard in the back end for you guys to make this work. We want it to be like the smoothest experience possible. So give you an idea. So you go on, I don't know, Garrett's cookie shop, and you order his cookies that are selling on Amazon for double, and you order them to the warehouse, and then you go on the Buy Box Bandits prep page, and you go and you say how many cookies you ordered to the warehouse, and then you pay for it right there. Then that's it. You never think about it again. And then it gets sent to our warehouse. We store it, prep, pick it, ship it. Oh my God.
Well, yeah, prep, like that. We don't currently have merch to fill, so it'd be send it off to
Yeah,
FBA.
no. So MF is something we're looking at doing probably closer to like Q3, ideally Q4 next year. But yeah, it's pretty much send it, forget it, and we take care of it within, I think our promised time is 72 hours.
Yep, 72.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then lastly, heading into 2022, potentially BBB wholesale offers.
Right?
Oh, so
yeah.
as a team,
Hell yeah.
we have.
Yeah, if you guys would be interested in something like that, like, comment below. But yeah, I mean, definitely, it's just all like integration and stuff. Like, people ask how to find products, right? It's a great way to do it. We need to talk, us three, get the certain things figured out on that. But I'm all about that. That's something that has such high demand. Hopefully we can figure out.
These are both things that have very high demand, the prep and.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, because we're also in Delaware, so if you're doing OA or just wholesale and not tax-free for whatever reason, I don't think on any category there's sales tax when you're pushing stuff to Delaware.
No, Delaware's tax-free.
Yeah.
Shout out Delaware. Nice state.
And then hopefully about this time next year, the three of us potentially maybe all have a successful private label brand. We will see. That's
I
definitely
probably won't, but I don't know.
Miles.
hopefully all Amazon will. That's
And wait, and
Mr.
FBA
DeFeo.
astronaut.
FBA,
Absolutely.
Mr.
FBA
DeFeo over here
astronaut
already.
enterprises.
I absolutely
Mr.
will.
DeFeo has already made that first couple power steps in terms of buying the trademark and getting that
Sweet.
forward.
I didn't even know that. Cool.
Yeah, I have the second
Yeah,
one
he was.
already.
Oh, we're all
Yeah,
just.
man. So
All right, I have nothing for private label.
Nice.
crazy. I mean, all in all, just a crazy 2021. Big things coming for 2022.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Obviously, stuff happened bad in the world. Some stuff bad happened business wise, but no complaints. Like met a ton of great guys. Like to all the guys, like we've met in like group chats and everything. Like, thank you guys for supporting us, commenting. Kevin Rodriguez, you guys in the comments, all the other ones. Like, love you guys. Thank you guys for all the help with everything, and thank you guys for the support on the podcast.
Yeah,
so far.
I don't know if you guys know this. I want to find it. I looked at the reviews on Apple today for our podcast. Very nice. I mean, like, people are saying very, very nice things, and we truly appreciate everyone. Like, I'm not used to this. I've never seen people saying we've like changed their lives, being able to bring them a second source of income for their like children or whatever.
Just getting started.
I got a message a few days ago saying like our content was able to like help him supplement the gifts for Christmas for his children. Amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like
we did provide the gifts for a lot of people's children on Amazon. They just might have paid a little more above the retail price, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to the three of us, we enjoy having fun. A lot of you guys out there we banter with. We give you a hard time, but at the end of the day, it's all love, and we truly support each and every one of you that support us and our journeys.
Yep. Got stay focused, a lot of distractions. If they're watching this right now on New Year's, Happy New Year.
This comes out New Year's Eve. Yeah, this comes out New Year's.
Write down your goals or your resolutions and stick to them. Stick to them. Whatever it is. Don't let anyone tell you can't do it, because Miles did it. You can do it.
This is true.
There it is.
All right. Let's have a fantastic 2022. We'll see you on Tuesday for an episode. Year one of BBB, 26 episodes deep. Looking forward to 104 episodes this coming year. Every Tuesday and Friday, 8:30 a.m. YouTube, Spotify, all the platforms that we have out there. See you guys in the next one.